Good evening and welcome to another live stream from a home in Italy. We're back. We're finally back. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been 2 weeks. I can't believe it. Have you missed us? Hope you have. I will be moaning a little bit tonight because I have the man flu. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, it's not been diagnosed yet, but it's feeling like man flu. For those of you who don't know what man flu is, it's normal flu, but it's the male version of it. So obviously it's much harder. And I'm still waiting for extra sympathy from Silvana, but up to now it's not happening. But there you go. Have you missed us? Hope you have. Let us know where you are in the world. Start writing in the chat box. And let's make sure that we're not just talking to ourselves. Tony, I have no idea how many people are watching us tonight, so you'll have to keep letting me know every now and then, just so I know I'm not sat here talking to myself as I usually do. So we've got a full show today. I will be complaining a lot because I'll be coughing and everything else. So, a little bit of sympathy would be nice as well if we can get a little bit of that. But we've got a full show tonight. It's Meet the Homebuyers. And everybody loves Meet the Homebuyers. We have Liam and Susan, a fantastic couple that are going to give us their story and tell us about their choice in their part of Abruzzo, which I'm not going to tell you until later. So that'll be in about 10 minutes' time. We will start that. We've also got, what else have we got? We've got Domenico and Tony's Tongue Twisting Trials. It's back. It is back, and it's quite a difficult one. I'm not sure if people are going to get it tonight, but we'll see. See what happens. I may get a point tonight. We will see. What else have we got? We've got stunning photo of the week. We've got some really, really bad sound effects. It's not done it this time. There you go. So it's a full show that we've got on tonight. Really glad that we are back. Sorry we missed the last couple of weeks. Last week I was in New York. Do you remember? I did mention it. So that's why we didn't do. Miss you, David. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think that was from Al. Yes, I was in New York last week. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that in a second. In fact, I might even show you that. Might even show you a few photographs that may be on this week's stunning photo of the week from New York. Anyway, what else have I got to say? Let's tell you about, if just remember, our friends over in Rent in Abruzzo. The address is coming up now. If you are looking to rent a property in Abruzzo, make sure you contact them. And you can see here their email is at the end, rentinabruzzo@gmail.com. Make sure you spell it correctly. Make sure you don't put 2 B's and 3 Z's and whatever, so you can see what it is there. And also, if you go into their YouTube channel, youtube.com/@rentinabruzzo, you can take a look at some of the properties that they are renting out. And there's some fantastic places over around the Sulmona area and also a place here in Palombaro in my hometown. So check them out if you are interested in short-term and long-term rentals. Maybe you're looking to get your visa and you want a 12-month contract. They can help you out with that. They can help you with registering the contract. They're pretty much good at doing everything. And I'm sorry, I'm being really unprofessional now because I was making sure Domenico has received. I've just WhatsApp Domenico just to see if he's received my message about the link for tonight, because he'll be coming on later with Tony and Domenico and Tony's Tongue Twisting Trials. What else have I got to say? Tour dates start again next year. We kick off in January the 30th and 31st. This one is going to be a smaller tour. We're possibly only going to have one bus on this tour. We're always busy from the March ones, the May ones. They are filling up. Especially the May ones, they are really filling up. So if you are interested in coming, then make sure you book now. You go to www.homeinitaly.com. Remember, it's homeinitaly.com. Click on the tours. You can find out the information and you can book your dates there. But definitely come on the January ones. I keep saying this to people. January is a brilliant time to come and visit. So you should definitely pick. And the great thing about the January one is we're going to be all nice and close and together on the buses. We're not going to have 2 buses. We're not going to be split apart. We'll all be together because we decided to just cut it down to 1 bus. So book, I think there's maybe 5 seats left on that one, 5 or 6 seats. So if you are interested in coming on January, go to the website, click on tours, and come and join us on that January one. Then we have March 27th and 28th, May 8th and 9th, and May 29th and 30th. What else have we got to say? We've got to say I've done all of that. I've done it. Oh, yeah, the next live streams. Tony's taking over the screen again. Sorry, Tony. Do you mind if I? Thank you very much. Next live streams Next week, next Tuesday, 10th of December, my stunning Abruzzo. So it's going to be a slightly different one to my Abruzzo because it's my stunning Abruzzo. Don't know how it's going to be different yet, but it's going to be a little bit different. Obviously, going to be talking about this incredible area, telling you the places to go, the hot places to go, the places, when I say hot, I mean sort of hot properties, if you like. Maybe some of the places to avoid, not for any bad reasons, but I'm going to give you a few tips about the area. We may get a couple of people coming on there as well. Then on the 17th of December, it is the massive Christmas party, and that one's going to be great. That one's going to probably be an hour and a half. We're going to have all our favorite characters, as we like to call them, and I've not asked anybody yet, but I'm hoping that Palombaro Patrick comes on here. We're looking at Pacentro Pete, Bomber Brad. I'm only mentioning the men's names. That's terrible, isn't it? Terrible. Who else have we got? Lexi and Craig. I've not asked them yet, but hopefully they were the first ever meet the home buyers, so we're going to ask them. Who else we're going to ask? We're going to ask Carmen and Nicole from Faro San Martino. It's going to be a load of fun. We're going to have David from Currencies Direct. Everybody on here. We're going to have a group tongue twisting trial. Should be a good laugh. That is on the 17th of December. We're going to talk nothing about properties in Italy. We're just going to, no, we will do a little bit, but we're just going to have a bit of fun. So do not miss this program. 10th of December, my stunning Abruzzo. 17th of December, the big, massive Christmas party. And then we will be closing from the 20th, I think is our last signing date, until celebrations finish here in Italy, which is the last date is on the 6th. Which I can't remember. I think is a Sunday, something like that. So we'll be open again on the 7th. But yes, there you go. So make notes of these and make sure you join us over the next couple of weeks. Okay, so what is it time for? It's time for stunning photo of the week. And this time, excuse me, this time the stunning photo of the week is one of mine. There you go. I wanted to wanted to show a few photographs from our New York trip. So I want to say a few thank yous. Because I definitely want to say thank you to Lewis and Lisa for looking after us the way they did on Thanksgiving Day, which was fantastic. I'm also going to give a big shout out to Peter as well, who bought in Capistrano, who well, I'm going to show you some photographs in a second because he did something fantastic. So this week's stunning photograph of the week, I think it must have gone out. The New York Times must have heard that I was coming over because look what they did for me. I thought that was fantastic. Just happened to be walking past, and there you go. So that's this week's stunning photo. Thank you to the New York Times for, well, they must have heard on here, obviously, that was coming and getting this door done in time. I just think it's absolutely stunning. So there you go. That's going to, and I might even use that as the new emblem on our website. But that is this week's stunning photo of the week. There you go. I'll have a couple of photographs with you because I mentioned Peter, who bought a place in Capistrano, and he said to us one of the days that we were there, he said, I want to pick you up close to Central Park, and he says, just look out for a unique car, and you know that's me. And so we were all waiting. I sent him the position where we were, and around the corner, just look at this. We were completely shocked, and Peter is, as you can see there, great guy, and he came on a tour. Not so long ago. I bought a brilliant property in Capistrano. Peter's going to join us for a meet the home buyer at some point, and he has cars that he gives for films. He picks stars. This car recently had Lady Gaga in it, quite a few other stars, and this is the car that they used on Home Alone as well. So the first thing he did was take us over the bridge where this car went over as well. We had a fantastic time. So thank you so much, Peter. I don't know if he's watching at the moment. He may well be working, but we had a fantastic. He picked us up just across from Central Park. This is me, my wife, and 2 kids. You should know Silvana by now. Silvana on the left. She'll be coming to say hello on Christmas, on the Christmas special. And our daughter Alana and son Gianluca. Just look at some of the places where he took us. This is, I've got to admit, this is stunning. May not be quite as stunning as Abruzzo, but it is still stunning, isn't it? There's the cab again. And then the other thing that it let me do was this. Look at that. It just doesn't get any better than that, does it? I could have got a bit more of this is like one of Tony's photographs. He misses half of it out. But there you go. He wrote stunning in the back window for me as well. And I'm not going to say where that is on the right. My kids wrote that. It's not rude, but it's a little bit of anyway, there you go. So that is the stunning photos of the week. Thank you so much to Peter. We had a fantastic time, and that's it. So I'm not going to go on too much about there's just one thing I want to say. Just one thing. I may be a little bit controversial, possibly, because before we went to New York, obviously we looked at everything what there is to do and all the rest of it, and I saw so many things on YouTube where they say that the pizza in New York is better than the pizza in Italy, and that's where I felt as well. So I have now decided, because pizza is one of my favorite foods alongside Thai foods. Pizza I just love, because you can just do anything with pizza, can't you? Why am I talking so much? Anyway, I've decided that I've made this decision now, and my decision was surprising, because I've seen so much about how amazing the pizzas are in New York and much better than pizzas in Italy. And I've got to admit, what I will say is every single one of those YouTubers and everybody that's ever said that is so wrong. It is not pizza. That's not pizza. It's not even close. You cannot say that New York pizza is better than Italian pizza. I'm sorry, you can't. That is official. From today, nobody else is allowed to say that on YouTube. You cannot put a tomato sort of sauce with as much cheese as possible on whatever you want to call it underneath and call that a pizza. It's not pizza. It's just not. Stop offending the word pizza. And it doesn't matter where you go, been to Joe's, been to whoever else they all are. It is not pizza. I'm sorry. I'm protecting the great Italian pizza. Sorry, New Yorkers, but that's not pizza. Is that enough, Tone? Have I said enough? Tony, are you happy with that?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah. I don't have to carry on.
I would agree. I've never had a New York pizza, but I would agree with you anyway.
Thank you. There you go. It's always nice that he agrees with me. Okay, so I've been rabbiting on 14 minutes, and we've got one more thing to do before we bring our guests on. And we all know what time it is now, don't we? It is time for... It's time for Tony and Domenico's tongue twisting trials. Let's do this quickly before we bring Liam and Susan on. So let's get Tony on. Tony, are you ready?
Yes.
Anybody that's joining us for the first time, what we're going to do now, Tony is going to speak in his best Italian. I shouldn't really put those two words together. He's going to speak in his, say a famous quote from a film in his best Italian, and then later in the show, Domenico is going to do the same in English. And at that point, and only at that point, later in the show, you can guess which which film it is from. So, Tony, are you ready?
Well, I've only just 1 minute.
Well, it doesn't matter. You have to do it off the cuff. Right. But a little bit of advice, because it worked last week. You've got to try and get into the acting thing, right? Not last week, 2 weeks. So today, I want you to be quite sad.
Okay.
So it's quite, almost like you've lost something, almost, get into character with this one. You ready? Okay, go.
Potresti essere felici qui. Potrei prendermi cura di te. Non lascerei che nessuno ti facessi del male. Potremmo crescere insieme.
Not bad. I'm not sure if that was really sad, though. It was more like a bit philosophical, a bit more, Anyway, not bad.
That's the first time I saw it. I didn't know.
5 out of 10. Anyway, if anybody gets it from that, don't write it yet, but if anybody gets it from that, then impossible. Okay, so wait for the end of the show when Domenico comes on. We'll do another version, Tony's version, and then we'll get Domenico to do it in English. You can guess from there. Are we ready? Are we ready for this week's Meet the Homebuyers? Let's bring on Liam and Susan. Good evening.
Hi, Dave.
How are you doing? You okay?
We're grand. How are you? You sound sick.
I know. It's nice to have a bit of sympathy, though. Yeah. So if
New York pizza will do that to you.
Yeah. Do you agree? Have you been to New York? Have you tried the pizza?
Yes. And all the YouTubers are wrong. It is not better in New York.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Close.
Great to see you both again. Do you want to introduce yourself? I know you've been on once, haven't you? You were on a quick. Did you come on the last Christmas one? It was one that we did about Abruzzo, wasn't it? I think that you came on for a couple of minutes because you did come on a tour, didn't you? But do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us where you're from.
Susan and Liam from Texas.
Susan and Liam from Texas.
What else?
Short and sweet.
Yep. And retired.
And you're retired. So
yes.
Tell us the story. You came on the tour. When was that? When you came on the tour?
October last year.
October last year. So how did it all come about? The thought of coming to Italy, the thought of buying a property in Italy. How did that all start?
Came across your YouTube video, and I showed Liam. I said, "Hey, look, we could buy a nicer home in Italy, and live healthy and have great pizza." And so we decided to hop on one of your tours. And when we first got there, we were like, well, I'm not really sure. Dave's really going to have to knock it out of the park. And you did. You knocked it out of the park. It was a great tour. Really enjoyed ourselves. Got to meet a lot of like-minded people that were looking for a more laid-back lifestyle. And then you showed one house on another video in Riano. And I decided I was going to see on your website if I could look at the pictures, but I found the other house in Riano and I liked it better. And so I said, should we just go ahead and send that email? And Liam agreed. And so we sent the email and got everything started.
So when you, so we'll talk about the house later. So the house that you decided to buy, we didn't see that on the tour though, did we? Or did we?
We did not.
No, you didn't see it. No. So the idea of moving to Italy, had that just come out? Was it purely just because you'd seen something on YouTube, the video, or was it in your mind anyway?
So yeah, I'll take this one. So Susan, like she said just a minute ago, she was watching one of your videos, and I think it was a place in Vittorito. Actually, we've gone back to try to find it, and we think that we did. But anyway, we were watching that. I'm across the room and, getting close to retirement anyway. And so we saw the price and, and of course, Dave, you do such a great job on the videos. It's amazing. So when I didn't even say anything to Susan, I didn't say, oh, let me look at that or whatever. I told her, I said, let's go. I want to go. And I know this sounds a little weird, but I said, I want to go naked. And what I meant by that is I didn't want to take any problems. I didn't want to take any baggage or whatever. It's like, let's go. And it was just amazing. And so that's kind of what kicked it off. And so you offered the tours, and so we thought about that for a little bit and said, let's go. We've never been to Italy before.
Really? You'd never been here before? It was the first time?
Never been to Italy. And so we just said, let's go. It's kind of hard to describe. There was just a feeling, there was a draw, and just, watching your weekly live shows. And it's like, yeah, we did it. So, we went over there in October, and it's amazing because, your videos are really, really good, and they do a great job of portraying what it's like over there. But actually being there was so much better. And it was such a great experience that all by itself, just coming on your tour, helped solidify the deal. It's like, yeah, we've got to find a place over there. And at the time we didn't know exactly where, because even on the tour, you'll go around and ask people, well, what's your favorite town? What did you think about this? It was really hard for us to decide because, like, I don't know. And at the time we were in Sulmona, so it's like, Sulmona.
And everywhere we went, then you just like that as well. That's
yeah. And
I mean, that is the beauty of of Abruzzo. And I always say to people, it's not about one place, is it? It's about, even though you obviously chose in one place, you have to do, you buy one house in one place, but the experience of Abruzzo is being out and about in it, isn't it? And visiting the different places.
Absolutely. And I tell you, the only thing that I wish that we would have done differently is I wish that I would have taken a journal or a notebook with me and taken some notes, because there's so much going on. And the other thing, and Susan taught me this later, is like on my iPhone, and I took a lot of pictures. I even had a different camera I was taking pictures with. But Susan had her phone on, but she had them geotagged. So I had all these photos, and it's like, where was this? I don't remember. It's like, was that in Prezza? No, that was in Tradacqua. No, it wasn't. And so I wish that I had taken a notebook with me and taken a lot of notes, and also had those photos geotagged. It would have made it a lot easier for sure.
Yeah, superb. So yeah, I didn't realize that you'd not been in Italy. I thought you'd been to Italy before all of this. That's fantastic that you came for the first time, found something that you loved after the tour, bought it remotely without seeing it, and you wanted to. I mean, I know we'll talk about the future a little bit more, but is the future looking Italian?
It's hard to say, because we still have a lot of stuff that we need to do here. Right. In the USA before we're fully retired. So on paper, we're retired, but we still have 4 or 5 more years of things that we need to do here. We've got 2 kids in college. Right. So I would say for the next 4 or 5 years, our place is going to be a holiday home. Okay. But that'll be, time to do any improvements that we want to do. So
perfect. Okay, so let's talk a little bit then about, obviously you came on the tour, we looked all over the places we do on those tours. You then decide, we'll talk about the house in a minute, but you decided then that Raiano was the place for you. So tell us a little bit about Raiano and a little bit why you felt that this was the right place for you guys. I'm going to show a few pictures, a couple that I've taken, and then a couple that you sent me as well. So if you want to just tell us a little bit about it.
So I feel like there's 2 different ways to look at all of this, right? There's some people say left brain, right brain, right? There's a logical, and then there's an emotional side. So the thing about Raiano is it got both of them. It felt really nice, and on the logical side, it was there because of the public transportation. Like you said before, there's restaurants, there's bars, there's pharmacies, and it's a short drive to Sulmona. When we were there a couple of weeks ago, we drove into Sulmona, and there's the location is fantastic. And then what made it, like I said, it feels good. Just walking around town feels great. So, so that's what we found about Raiano, but we probably would have experienced that most any place there.
Yeah. I mean, when people, I will carry on showing a few more photographs as well, but just so people know, obviously, all of the towns and villages we went to see, they're all quite close together, aren't they? So you have Vittorito and Raiano that are very close. You've got Popoli before then, you've got Prezza, you've got Petorano, sorry, not Petorano, Pratola, then you've got Sulmona close, and all of these places. Lots of people say to me, or will write on videos, where is everybody? These towns are desolate. There's nobody there. They must be isolated. That's why everything's cheap. Nobody lives there. They're abandoned. What would you say to those people? Because obviously, when you look at some of these photographs, in particular the one that I took, you could quite easily say to somebody, well, where is everybody? But what would you say to those people?
So there's tons of people there, and one of the things that we learned from you, Dave, and we still have to adjust to, is the early afternoon in Italy. Things go quiet for a little while, and if you're used, like our culture here, no, it doesn't matter if you're tired or sleepy. It's like, no, you keep going, and so that's one thing that we noticed. And it'll take a while for us to adapt to that, actually, because even at 5 o'clock, we're looking for a restaurant at 5 p.m. and there's not open yet.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people there. And one day we were walking around in Raiano. I don't remember what day of the week it was, but there was a lot of people there. But
I think it was Sunday.
yeah, it was a Sunday. That's right. So
Sorry to
yeah,
interrupt, but we've got your son. Should he be studying? So it's Christopher's right on here. Susan and Liam's son here, stopping by just to say hello. Hello, Christopher. You should be studying.
Hi, Christopher. I think he's in finals right now. He's finishing up his semester at university. He's going into his third year. He's going to be the teacher. And so we're trying to find a way to get him to teach in Italy so we can all go as a family.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Well, good luck, Christopher, with your studies. And thank you for joining us as well. Sorry, I was interrupting you. So yeah. So as you say, there's lots of people. It's all to do with timing. And I always say to people that kids are at schools, people work. They're not. I think everybody expects it just to be full of tourists, and there is times for tourists, but we don't want that, do we? Life is better. I'm not going to say life is better without tourists, but it's not about the streams of tourists and the little gift shops, is it? It's so much more to that.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's just visiting the shops and the restaurants with just the locals. I can't think of words to describe what it's like. It's very different. It's certainly not touristy at all. And so and another thing, and I think I mentioned this before, is the people are so friendly. And if you let them know that you don't speak Italian, then they'll either work with you on the app or they try to talk with you in English. And it's just, they're so welcoming. And it's very different. I mean, compared to what, for us here in the USA. So it's a great experience. And, like you were talking about earlier, the food is amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's like, that's another thing that words can't describe.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, going back briefly to my trip last week, I was talking to Tony about it. Value for money here is just ridiculous. I mean, coming from the US, I mean, I was shocked. Living in the UK, things were expensive. Coming from New York last week, I was shocked. But when you talk about quality and when you talk about sort of the way people are here and welcoming, and in the sense of, the restaurants, you're left alone, you're not sort of being rushed to hurry up, get out, and sort of all the rest of it. You really do feel like you're being treated special, not just by shop owners and business owners, but as you say, the person on the street as well. It's a different. Yeah. We lost that in the UK a while ago, and it's sad. My dad always says, whenever he comes here, he always says, the UK used to be like this years ago. People used to say hello to each other, stop in the street, speak to each other. You called your next door neighbor auntie and uncle, and you call, and things like that. But we've lost all that. And I think when you come to these places, that's what then takes over, rather than thinking, where are the tourists and the tourist shops? You suddenly think, this is life. This is what I want. I'm sure you had the same feelings as well.
Yes, it's real. It's real Italy. It's real cities. And it's Friday night we were there, and it was kids were home from school riding bikes and playing in the streets, and old men were walking around and gossiping like women. It was really nice.
Yeah. And Dave, one other thing that you mentioned, I think in one of your videos, is how powerful, it seems simple, but how powerful the word buongiorno is.
Yeah.
It's a quick, easy way to connect with people, and everyone speaks to you. So it's amazing. It is.
And it's so great as well that the kids do it as well. It's not just, I know some of the young kids may start to change some of the things. I mean, that's life changes. But at the moment, even the kids and the teenagers and the young, it's all buongiorno, buonasera. It's all wishing somebody something. And I think it's incredible. And I think that is something you can't sell. If somebody wants to call me a salesman, I don't like to think myself as a salesman. You can't sell that, can you? You can't. It's something that you can only experience.
It's very authentic. You can tell it's authentic. It's not fake.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so your house, I'm coming to the house soon. I've got another couple of pictures. This is one that we spoke about earlier, because you're right in the center of your house. If we spun the camera to the right, you would see it. We're going to show people soon. What was it about this photo that you suddenly stopped, and you were telling me about this earlier? What was it that got you on this?
Yeah, so this is only about 10 steps from our front door. And we had been there at the house most of the day, and we were ready to go back to the B&B where we were staying, and we had got in the car and getting ready to drive off, and we just noticed, it's like, we've seen photos of this piazza many times, but they were all during the day, and this is the first time we had seen it lit up at night, and plus it was right at dusk, so there's still a little bit of sunlight or a little bit of light in the sky. And it was gorgeous. And you know, to borrow a word from someone else, it was stunning.
It was stunning.
Nice, that was nice. I like the way you brought that in then. That was excellent. And then obviously you're doing a little bit of walking around. This is one of my favorite places in Raiano. Did you actually go for a walk into the valley?
Yes, we did. I should have sent some of those photos to you as well.
I think I may have got a couple, because this is. Did you take this from the bridge? This is Gole di San Venanzio, I think this is called.
Yes, this is one of Susan's photos here. Yeah,
great photograph. And this is one part of the ruins, I think, of one of the chapels, isn't it? As you're walking down there.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll just show another. I think I've got another one before we go to the house. But it is such a beautiful, so peaceful, and this is literally just 10 minutes walk out of the town, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it would be an easy walk from our front door.
Yeah,
easy. So
excellent. Okay, so let's now speak about the house. So when we obviously on the tour, we take you around different houses. Was there anything on the tour that you thought, actually this is quite nice, or was it more about seeing the area? What happened on that side?
There was one place in Raiano that you took us to that I thought was quite nice in the old part. And I think it still might be on the market. I'm not sure. So that might be another one we buy. I'm not sure. But it was always Raiano. Whenever we came back to looking back at it, it was always Raiano. Something about Raiano spoke to us and kept drawing us back.
Well, I know when your house came on the market, I want to show people in a second the view, because when I went to see it, I was quite blown away by the view from your but it's covered roof terrace, isn't it, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to show people the view, and this is the first day I saw it, and this is what it looked like. And that's pretty spectacular, isn't it?
It is.
The view that you've got. And you've got views pretty much all the way up, haven't you, from every balcony? But as you go higher, you just manage to get over the rooftops a little bit more. So let's just show people now. I'll show the front of the house, and you can explain it as we go through the house. That's another one. This is the next balcony down, I think. I think this one was taken. So you can just see the fountain on the left-hand side in the church. So your property, I hope people can see my mouse, is this one in the middle here, and the roof terrace at the top. So this is the one that you decided to go for. What was it about? I can't remember now how you come to get this one. Had I posted, because I didn't do a video. I was due to do a video of this one, and I didn't do a video. How did we get to this one? Did I put it on the website? I can't remember now. Did you see it on the website?
It was on the website. We went to look at the website to see another property that you, if you're looking at our property, it's on the right side, the big.
Oh yeah,
the big house.
Yeah, the one under the clock.
And I found this one instead. And I was looking through the pictures, and I said, "That's it. That's what we're looking for." It felt right. It looked nice. Had a place for our two boys, and it just looked perfect.
So I'm going to show a few photographs now going in from, because the bottom floor used to be a shop, didn't it? Used to be, in fact, it was registered as a shop, because we changed that so we could bring the taxes down a little bit. So I'm going to show as if we're now going through that sort of garage door on the left, just for people to know the room there. And then if you want to describe it as we go through So this is on the ground floor.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the ground floor, cantina, the shop area. We're hoping to make that into a standalone efficiency apartment, because it has a full bath, and it has a perfect spot all the way in the back for a small kitchen. Yeah. And so.
Yeah. And so what I guess one of the concerns that we had up front is this looks small. it's like, wow, that's narrow. But when you go in there, we didn't measure it, but there's plenty of room in
Yes.
there for a full, like an efficiency apartment or whatever. And like Susan said, there's a full bathroom right there on the right. If you go through that doorway right there, there's another fairly large room that could be a kitchen.
Yeah.
But we actually want to look into taking that wall down to open it up even more.
Yes.
So there's a lot of room there, and I would suspect that with the vaulted ceilings, if we wanted to, we could maybe even expose some stone. So
I mean,
there's
there's
tons, yeah,
amazing vaultings throughout your place, isn't there? And as you say, it does look like it's narrow, but when you're there, it's not at all.
it's not.
So-
It's not.
It's quite wide.
Yeah, we
So
were
moving,
very.
moving up the stairs. This is going to be what you're going to do with this room.
So this one's similar on the right. There's where the kitchen is now, but it's got a wall that we want to take down as well,
Yep.
and just open that all up and have it be it the kitchen, living, dining, and
So
this is
this
another
wall
one.
here, this wall here
Yeah.
at the end, you wanted to take. Yep.
Yes. So this is another one. There was a photo I took of Susan standing right there. And if you look at the photo, it gives you a little more scale, because this looks small again, but there's a lot of room in there. And we were pleasantly surprised. So this is this in the US, that would be the second floor, but it's actually the first floor.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah. And then out on here is another balcony with views onto the piazza in front. So then
Yeah.
moving up, I've not got photographs of all the rooms, but moving up a room. So that's the kitchen, an old kitchen. These are a little bit blurred, these photographs. Again, these are great size bedrooms. Some nice tiles here as well. Is this? I think sure this
That's
is the
the
one.
top floor.
Is that the top floor? Is it?
That's the
Very
top.
top floor,
Right.
yes.
So it's the other one then. So let's do this one first. So again,
Yeah.
it has these great high vaulted ceilings, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, and it's
Very large room.
yeah, it's got more than enough room. Again, looking at the photos, it's like, oh, we can probably make that work. But when you get there and you see how large they are, it's amazing. We feel very fortunate to been able to find this place.
Yeah, I mean, considering the plug sockets here and here, you fit a double bed in there. You can see there's plenty of room at either side, and yeah, they are very big rooms. So then on this floor as well, there's a bathroom, isn't there? Small bathroom, and then another sort of a room, a pastoral room. What are you going to do on this floor? Have you decided what you want to do?
Yeah, we're going to make that into a sitting area or a writing area or just drinking cappuccino and looking out the balcony area.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, so the little room that's almost like a corridor. Well, it's not really a corridor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like a lounge,
Yeah.
bookcases, something like that. Just an area to relax.
Superb. And then obviously there's a bathroom on that floor. Then you go up the stairs again, and we have another bedroom. Again, this is a great sized bedroom, isn't it? It's just a photo
It is.
that looks.
It is. It's actually the same size as the one below. The only thing is, you can see here, this has got good high ceilings, but it's not vaulted.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we're on the top floor there, aren't we? And then the great thing, what I love about this house is this room, purely because this is what goes out then onto the terrace.
Mhm.
What's this going to be?
So our plan right now is to add an ensuite to that bedroom on the top,
Right.
and then take the remainder of that and add to that covered terrace. So
Right.
like the wall that you see there with the door going out there, just probably remove that or move it back, toward the bathroom area.
Yeah.
And just had this really nice large terrace up there on the top.
That would be superb, because at the moment it is still quite a decent size, the terrace, isn't it? But yeah, it would be fantastic.
Sorry.
About that.
Our oldest is home now.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Okay, so then obviously the covered terrace, this is part of the views that you see. So the fountain is just to the right, and the church over to our right here as well. So So yeah, it's going to be a fantastic place once you've well, it's a fantastic place now.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah.
But once you've done everything up, it's going to be absolutely amazing. So obviously you've been speaking little bits about the kind of restorations what you're doing. When are you thinking about start, or are you just in sort of what's your plans to do now? Are you gonna start using it before you do the restorations?
So that's what we would like to do. Start using it sooner. We met someone in Vitorito actually on this last trip, and she taught us the phrase "piano, piano."
Yeah.
And so I guess we have a tendency to, it's like, oh, we know what we want to do, let's get it done. You
Yes.
know, hey, how long is it going to take? 6 months. Well, we need to do it in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
That type of thing. Where she taught us this type of thing it takes time, and so that's the approach that we want to take, because thanks to you, Dave, and Silvana, we already have the electric, the water, and the gas hooked up.
Yeah.
So we have a few things that we need to do, and really, even the same person that told us piano, piano, she was like, just clean it up. I mean, you could live in it now. Just go in, clean it up, do a little bit of painting, and go from there. So I think that's our plan. Is we want to make some repairs first, some quick repairs, and then get in and just work on it over time.
Yeah. No, I think you do right. And excuse me, somebody's saying we've got Lorraine, who's also got a place in Rayano, saying it's a blank canvas to work with, and that is true. When we take these properties on, it's very difficult. Even showing the photographs now as they are, it's a little bit like when we bought this place. It doesn't look anything. It doesn't. They don't realize the size of the rooms and everything else. They're so difficult to photograph. They're usually the best houses, the ones that you put on the website, and people don't really pay much attention to them because it's just too hard to get the atmosphere, but also the grandeur of these places.
No doubt.
But I do think it's a great idea to try and come and use it, and then, because there could be other things that you suddenly think, well, you know what? No, I don't want my lounge there. Actually, I want to do it there, or I want to change this. Because we made not mistakes, but we ended up redoing things because as a year went on of being here, we suddenly thought, well, actually, that's a little bit awkward being there. We should have really thought about putting it there. And I would say that we definitely ended up spending more money than what we should have done because of that. So I would advise anybody just to say, get in there if you can and start living. So how does it feel now? How did you feel? Obviously, you'd been here, so you'd seen the area, you'd not seen the house. You decided to, I think we did a short video for you, didn't we? And sent you that through just to make sure, because I didn't want you to buy it just from photographs. How did you feel during the process? Because I like to ask this, because obviously during the process between me and Silvana, she's usually the one that rings and says, right, you need to send this money here and send this money to the notary and send this many thousands here and send this many thousands. So obviously we're asking, sometimes we probably take it for granted that people are just happy to go along with it, and everybody does. But how did you feel about the whole process of buying remotely and sending money wherever we told you to?
I felt fairly confident that everything was going to go very smoothly. And when the process was done, I thought, we just really did blindly trust them. I hope we actually did buy the property.
So that's the case, because earlier I mentioned it's kind of like it's a blend of logic and feeling, right? So logically it makes no sense to remote buy. It's like, no way. But because we had been there, because we had conversations with you, Dave, it's you, when you talk to other people that have worked with you, and you meet the home buyers that you do, it's like you start building that trust and that confidence, and it's like, I trust these people. And so actually, I thought that it would be a lot more difficult than it was, because when it was finally over and you sent us, I think it was either you or Silvana sends us a photo with the paperwork and our keys.
Yeah,
it's like, Wow.
our keys.
Yeah. It was that easy, because yeah, I mean, there are some hoops that you got to jump through. But it was like, it's difficult to think that we were able to do all that. And you made it so easy. And it's like, it's still now today, it's like when we went and picked up our keys, it still felt like it was too good to be true. So when we met Sylvia over there and she gave us the keys and we're walking around, it's like, wow, no, this is real. This is real. So yeah, I'm still amazed today at how easy and seamless the process was working through all. So thank you for that, Dave. That's amazing.
Oh, that's a pleasure. Thank you for using this. So Sylvia, just so everybody knows, is Domenico's wife. She's a worker out of the two. It is strange. It's strange seeing you have the keys now. Like you say, the photograph that we send to people is a receipt almost from the notary to say the act's been done, but obviously it has to be sent off then, and then you wait a month, 6 weeks, and get the documents back. But it is also strange for us because we go through the process of people finding something. You have the conversations on the phone. Different with you guys because obviously I'd already met you, so that was easier. A lot of the time, you're dealing with people that you've never met. You speak to them for the first time. They decide on a property. They trust in you. They do everything that you guys have done. Send the money everywhere we tell them to send the money. It's usually to us and the notary. And then we do the signing. We have this key. We come back to the office and we put the key in a drawer. And we've got, I just don't know how many keys where people have bought stuff and still not been yet and still not seen them yet. And it's weird also from this side, and I can't imagine what people must be thinking that are 1,000 miles thinking, just as you were saying, is this ours? Have we really got it? And in the same breath, it's the same, for us every day. We look at these keys and we think, when are people going to actually come and see what they bought? But it is great that people do have that trust, obviously, otherwise we wouldn't be able to do this. And it's great that you come on and talk about it. That's really important for us as well. So in terms of, I know you're going to say no regrets. Is there anything that, I don't know, any negatives, anything that you thought, I don't like talking negatives because it's all new experience for you, but is there anything that you thought maybe we should have done this, or are you sort of, how do you feel about the whole thing now? Now it's all done and the keys are in your hand.
No, absolutely no regrets of buying the property. The only drawback that I don't like is the long plane ride to get there.
Right.
We leave out of Houston, we go into London, then we fly into Rome. We're very tired when we get into Rome, and then we have to rent a car and drive, I guess another 2 hours. I can't remember.
Roughly,
or he drives. I've already told, I do not drive in Italy. I'm not a race car driver. Luckily, he raced motorcycles whenever he was younger, so he can handle it perfectly. That's never going to happen here.
Yeah.
So,
and the only thing, Dave, that I would do differently, like I mentioned earlier, is on the tour, take a journal or a notebook and make sure that my phone was set to do the geotagging of the photos and take lots and lots of photos. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Now I can imagine, I mean, the journey, as you say, is especially if you're having to get a couple of airplanes as well. But I suppose if you're lucky enough that when you're here, I think the last time were you only here for a week? I think maybe last time.
So just over a week.
Yeah. I think that if you manage to stay for a month, something like that, then the traveling part, becomes easier, doesn't it? But next time you go to London, if you can get to Stansted Airport and then you can fly straight into Pescara, you are closer, but it's not going to save you a huge amount.
Yes, we're looking at that as well.
Having said all of that, Pescara Airport, they have started doing the work for extending the runway. So hopefully there's going to be some flights into the US. That's what they're talking about. Whether it's going to start East Coast, I'm not sure where it's going to come in from, but they are doing the extension. So yeah, it's definitely on the card. So hopefully that's going to make that a little bit easier for you. So the future, you said that you got 4 or 5 years sort of things to do over there. What could you imagine living here? Could you imagine retire? Is that the plan?
So I can say this. 2 years ago, I had no idea that I was even going to go to Italy, let alone buy a place in Italy.
Mhm.
So I don't know what's going to happen 2 years from now. We may be living over there 2 years from now, but right now it looks like it's probably going to be a holiday home for the next 4 years, roughly. But yeah, I would love to, I don't think, I would be pursuing citizenship, but I would love to become a resident.
Yeah.
And, and so it just depends on a lot of things. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing that's off the table. We're open for almost anything, I say.
Superb. And are you learning the language?
We're working on it.
He's working on it. I'm being lazy.
Yeah.
And what are you using? Are you using some sort of app, or are you?
Yes. So I got the Babbel app and
Right.
started using that, and then they have Babbel Live lessons, and I started doing the Babbel Live, and so I thought I was doing pretty well. And then when I got into the live, and you're actually having conversations, that's whenever I found out I'm not learning as much as I thought that I was. But it's still piano. So.
No, definitely. No, that is a good way, and it will come. The strange thing with the language, I remember again when we were moving out here, and it was my wife's family saying, "How what you're going to do? You don't speak a word of Italian. How are you going to do it?" For me, the thought of going back into a classroom scenario is just not me. I did school, and when I finished school, that was the happiest day of my life, and I left, and that was it. So the thought of studying again was. But you will be surprised how much you pick up. You don't think you know anything until then somebody else hears you saying something, and then somebody says, "Oh, you're quite good at that." And you think, "Oh, I didn't realize I was." And then it does start to come up from there. So I'm sure you'll pick it up. Really soon. So other than Raiano, as you're going around the different places, obviously the close places that are close to Raiano. Other than there, what's your favorite place?
Oh goodness.
So with me, because we spent some time in Vittorito, I love Vittorito.
Yeah.
Going back to the whole logic/feeling approach, it doesn't have a train station in Vittorito, but there are buses, right?
Yep.
So if public transportation, like if you need a train, then Vittorito would not be a good place to go. But we liked it because it's very, it's laid back, it's quiet, and of course Domenico and Silvio live there. So
is that a plus? No, there is. I'm only joking.
Yeah, but
and that's why you didn't come to Palombaro, isn't it? Because Tony lives there.
Well, yeah. And then you may, I don't know if you recall or not, but when we did the tour, that your side of the mountain was the favorite. I mean, we drove to Ferris San Martino on our own, and just the water, in the river there, going to the Checo pasta factory and all that in the mountains, is just like, oh my gosh, it's just I hate to say this, but stunning is not even a word that can describe it. So we initially thought, we may even be over in that area.
Yep.
So I don't know. There's a lot of favorites. It's hard to just say if there's one more favorite.
And that's the great thing, and that's what keeps your visits keeps them interesting, because you're forever finding something new, and it's the same for us. I mean, we've been coming here for now over 20 years, nearly 21 years, and we're still finding new things and still being blown away by new things. And I think that speaks volumes for an area that you can keep coming back to and still find new things and still find exciting things. And I think that's what makes that's one thing doing this. When I think about how many people have bought and then sold, that there's very few. Only now there's a few Brits in this area, because we've been working here for quite a while, and the few Brits that have done their 10 years and the 12 years or 15 years of living here and then gone back for family reasons and the rest of it. But in general, very, very few people buy and then sell within a few years, because every time they come, there's just something new and exciting to discover. And I think that's a massive thing for the area. Okay, guys. Well, what can I say? Thank you for giving up your time coming on here. I'm just really, really glad I think Robert was on your tour as well. I think yes, he was. He was definitely on your tour, Robert. I don't know if you can remember. I know names will sort of mix in. Robert is. We're desperately trying. If it is the same Robert, which I'm sure it is, desperately trying to sort out his place that he found in Predsa. It's one of the very few sales that turns into a nightmare and drags on and on and on and on. But we're really hoping that that we can get his done, and then he can be out here enjoying things as well. So thank you so much for joining us again. And what can I say? Next time you're out, let us know. Hopefully we'll see you next time. And good luck with all the restorations in the house.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.
We'll speak to you. We'll speak to you really, really soon. And thanks for sharing your experiences.
Absolutely. Thanks for the opportunity.
We'll see you again. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, there you go. Meet the home buyers. So we have got. Let's just have a look. We should have Domenico. I can see him. I think he's got a coat on. Has he got a coat on, Tony? Domenico actually looks like he's got a coat on. Let's bring Tony on. He does really look all in the dark. Let's have a quick look at him. Buonasera.
I can just see it.
Buonasera!
Hey, buonasera, Tommy.
È tornato l'americano. È tornato l'americano.
Avete messo una giacca?
Are you in the shed?
Sì, sì, sì.
Perché sei freddo?
Sento freddo, sì.
I always call Domenico the rose. He's like a little delicate rose.
The rose. Rose.
Non puoi girare il telefono così, poi almeno si vedi meglio.
Aspetta.
Hold on, we'll see if there's now we can see him. Yes. Perfect.
Yes. Word.
Okay. Okay, Troy's on again. Tony rocks. Troy. The thing is, Troy contacted me today, and I don't have to. He contacted me today. I'm sure it's the same Troy. It will be the same Troy. I'm sure it is. About a property in Predsa. I think I'm going to have to sell it to somebody else. Anyway, are we ready? Are we ready for Domenico and Tony's tongue twisting trials? Let's see if anybody gets it.
I've got to do this again, yeah?
Tony, I will put the winner up because I know you cheat with things like this.
I don't cheat. I kind of cheat.
Okay, so first, Tony, anybody that's seeing this for the first time, this is the final part of the show where you can guess the name of the film. Tony is going to say the famous quote in Italian, and then Domenico is going to say it in English. And at that point, then you can guess the name of the film. Okay, Tony, remember, this time, not philosophical, not where you think, sad. Imagine that your puppy's just died. Your dog. Imagine you've had a dog for 20 years. You know, sorry to dog owners, and sorry if anybody, but imagine you've had your dog for 20 years and it's passed away. Okay, are you ready? Go.
Potrebbe essere felice qui. Potrei prendermi cura di te. Non lasciare che nessuno ti facesse del male. Potremmo crescere insieme.
Buono.
Wow, Tony, mi hai fatto piangere.
Grazie.
It made Domenico cry.
More notice of you, Dave.
Ok, Domenico. Allora, quando tu dire queste parole, devi dire in un modo triste, va bene?
Ok.
Quasi come hai perso un amico, non lo so, cane tuo, deve dire qualcosa proprio triste. I'm just telling him to prepare. He's got to be sad. Okay, go. Vai. Oh, I've not sent it him yet. Hang on a second. Just a slight error on that one. Okay. So you can tell we're live. You can tell we don't fake this. Sei pronto?
Oddio, ma neanche 20 secondi per leggerlo subito?
Vabbè, I want 2 seconds to read it. Sei pronto adesso? Vai.
You called by happy here. He called take care of you. You wouldn't let anybody hurt you. We could grow help together.
Bravo.
Well done,
See
Tommy.
if anybody can get this. Nobody's going to get this. Nobody's going to
Nobody
get
yet.
this. Huh?
Ok.
Nobody's.
No.
No, nobody's getting it yet. Un'altra volta, Domenico. Un'altra volta.
Everybody heart you. Ok. Allora, you could be happy here. I could take care of you. You wouldn't let anybody hurt you. We could grow up together.
I can't believe somebody's got it. Davide Casassa was the first person. Tony keeps taking it off. I'm sure that's
Okay.
David Casassa. I know this person. I'm sure he came on a tour. Am I wrong? Have I got the right? I've been speaking on email or something. The name. I can't believe they got that. And Darren got
That's
it.
you two. That's
Darren
you
got it as well. E.T.
two. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well done, Davide.
No,
You're
Facebook.
this week's. So nobody on Facebook.
No.
It's just YouTubers tonight.
Actually, I've not even seen anybody on Facebook tonight.
Oh, thanks for bringing
Oh,
that
no,
up.
there is. Yeah, there is.
Oh, there is. There's somebody going. No, David is our winner.
Yeah.
How did you get that, Dave? Somebody's definitely. I reckon they're definitely there with Google Translate on.
There you go, look.
Obviously not your version. but
Alumni September 24 tour.
yes, I do remember. I thought definitely cheating though. Definitely getting some sort of Google. Well done, fellas. You've done it again. Domenico, bravo.
Well done.
Grazie.
Ci sentiamo
Well done,
domani.
Tommy.
Ok, va bene. Ciao
Buona
Tony.
serata.
Ciao, Dom. Ci vediamo.
Ciao, ciao. Tone, well done, I suppose I've
Yes.
got to say.
Thank you.
There you go. Troy's
What?
saying a day drinking on the 17th for the Christmas party. Definitely drinks on the Christmas party. Okay,
Oh, no, yes.
we're going to do the white, rosé, and red test.
Yeah, okay.
That's traditional. You can't. That's like having a Christmas tree. Have you noticed Tony's Christmas tree? Just make a note. When did you put this up?
Pecorino, Montepulciano, and Cerasolo.
When did you put the Christmas tree up?
Not till Saturday.
You put it on up
No,
Saturday,
Sunday, the 1st.
right? You put it up Sunday the 1st.
Yeah.
Everybody make a note. We're going to have a guest to see when Tony takes his tree down. He is the last person in Italy,
Hey,
possibly the world, to take the
Kazakhstan
tree
has
down.
a different finishing time, don't they?
In fact, we're going to do this. What we're going to do is on the big, massive Christmas party, we're going to have a guest, and whoever guesses, we're going to win something. So there you go. Tom, thank you very much.
You are welcome.
There you go, folks. Did you enjoy that? Hope you did. Great meet the home buyers, isn't it? It's always a nice one. Remember, next week we're going to do another version of my stunning Abruzzo. We're going to talk a little bit more about some of the areas where I think you should sort of go, and some of the places you should visit, some of the places you should consider buying properties, some of the downsides, some of the upsides, all the rest of it. We'll do that. We'll do that next week. I may get somebody in to help me a little bit on that one. But then on the 17th, just remember we've got the big, massive Christmas party. Don't miss them. There's going to be a couple of great ones, and then obviously we're going to have the break for Christmas, and then we'll be back in January with loads of new content that we're planning on doing as well. So sorry that I've been coughing and spluttering a little bit. If you want to sort of send best wishes and all the rest of it, feel free to, a little bit of sympathy. It doesn't hurt, does it? You can always email me as well if you want to do that, or send me letters or Dino, Tony's saying, read this one. We're looking forward to the town tour videos. I've actually started writing, believe it or not. Look, Tony's laughing, and he is laughing. Look at him. Yeah, I have. I've started doing the scripts. I've started, well, not just the scripts. I've started working out how we're going to do it. The town tours, the first town tour will be done for Christmas. Definitely. Not started filming it yet.
Hey, there's Bo, look. Bo's put his 2 penny thing.
Oh, it's Bo. It's Bo from Pop. It's Populi Bo. We love Bo. But we will have the first town tour that will be released over the Christmas period. I think. No, we will. Okay.
You think?
No, it will be. Okay, folks, thank you so much. We'll see you again, same time next week for my stunning Abruzzo. Thanks for all your support. I really appreciate it, as ever. These sessions are here for you. I want to get back to doing them every week. I know we've had a few times where we've missed a few weeks. They're here for you. They're here to try and give you the confidence to come out here and do what our home buyers are doing. And we just really appreciate all the support that you give us on YouTube and the emails I get and everything else. I really, really do appreciate it. Okay, guys, have a fantastic week, and we'll see you again next week. See you soon.